So, been a crazy hot stretch of weather. I'm hearing a lot of questions. I've got a lot of people I've mentored calling and going, oh my God, my bees are swarming. What am I gonna do? Well, in actuality, your bees aren't swarming. Swarm season is pretty much over. It's hot. And when bees are hot, bees tend to beard, okay? And that's that big mass of bees that you see on the outside of hives. So they're just simply hot and they're trying to keep the hive cool. So I want to talk about this for a second here. What are they doing? It's basic bee biology that you need to understand. Especially that first hive there, we call it the office of the queen hive because, well, that's what Joy, the beekeeper's wife, painted on it. So it's kind of cute, but that's beside the point. So that hive, and I'm running it as a double, but probably has anywhere between 60 and 70, maybe even 80,000 bees in it right now. They're at the height of summer. And when it gets hot, it's packed in there. So in order to keep the heat inside down and the ventilation up, if you've got all those bees packed in, there's no way for all the air to get out. So think about it this way. So you're in a small 10 by 10 room and you've got 100 people in there. And then it gets up to be, I think we're like 94, 95 right now. What are you gonna do? You're gonna tell people, get the heck out of this room. It's too hot to have this many people in here. That's exactly what they're doing. So they need a way to keep the hive cool. Fewer bees in keeps it cool. And they also need a way to keep the humidity level in check inside because it's all crucial to the brood that's all in there. So remember, bee biology, they want to keep the hive around 95 degrees on the inside, give or take a few degrees, when they've got full brood in there. It starts getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and it starts impacting the brood, and they don't want that to happen. So that's what they're basically doing, is they're making space, they're getting bees out of the space, they're getting space in there that they can bring water in, which is crucial. And if you don't have a water source for your bees, provide one right now. It can be anything. It's like, I've taken an old garbage can lid up toward the house and dumped a whole bunch of rocks in it and filled it with water, and the bees are lapping it up. Now on the other side of this hive is a swamp. The bees love that. They love that organic water. But they'll bring in a quart or more of water every day just to fan it, and that cools down the hive. So don't panic when you see this. This is natural, and in fact, when I see that, that tells me I've got a healthy hive. And that's critically important to know. It's a way to go, okay, I guess these guys are strong and healthy. Look at the number of bees on the outside. There are a couple of ways you can handle this when you have it happen to you. One is you can provide as much possible ventilation as you can. So I run screen bottom boards, and I normally leave the screen bottom boards in all the time. There's a tray. Let me grab this one. So these trays are beetle trays, but they also will close off the screen at the bottom. This one I pulled out, and it smells like hell. Ugh. I got it on me. I run those mainly so I can see what's going on inside the hive. I can collect stuff. I also trap beetles in the bottom. But you can pull those out. That opens up that screen bottom board, and it gives more opportunity for that air to rise up in there and give them a little bit cooler temperature. So that's one thing you can do. You can even go even further, and you can shim a little bit on the cover or the inner cover. You know, just a couple of quarters are enough to do, or a small stick, you know, or something like the size of this plant will provide even a little bit more air. So you can do that. I do two things. I do just what I talked about, but I also have hives that I don't do anything with. I let them do what they would do in nature, because, and you've heard me talk about this in other videos, I'm trying to get as close to nature as I can. In nature, when I've seen bees inside trees, I've never ever seen a screened bottom board on a tree. So what are bees in nature doing? They're bearding. They're on the outside, they're cooling it off, they're doing what they do. So that's another way that you can deal with it. But don't panic. They're not swarming, they're doing what bees do. So I guess enjoy the heat. I'm cooking out here. Okay, so that's it. Any questions, put them down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate that. I'm really appreciating the support we're getting, so hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell button, and we'll make sure that we get a new video to you almost every week, if not every week. Take care.